Republican leaders, elected officials, must do their job and stop the steal.
How much of a role do you think the media has played in everything that's going on?
More than Goebbels did for Hitler.
Hi, this is Katie with MRC-TV, and today we are outside the Republican National Committee, where a group of Trump supporters have gathered to tell lawmakers to do your job and stop the steal.
What we see now is the Democrats and the left in office changing the rules of the game and using their influence to change the vote tally. If you run an election board, the one thing you have to do, if you have any integrity, is set the rules, let everybody know what they are, and judge by the rules.
I'm here because I want a fair election. I don't want a fraud election.
I'm here to plead with the Republican Party. Show support for President Trump. Get out there and vociferously support President Trump, period.
We're here today to make sure that the votes, that, it's a fair election and that each vote is counted.
We just want a fair election, we don't think it's not fair right now, so.
I'm the next generation. I'm 17. This is the generation and the policies that are going to be affecting my people. People have died to secure our freedoms and our votes in our societies, and for people to cheat, all these ballots came in at 2 a.m. They were 100% for Joe Biden. That's a probability impossibility. That cannot happen under any circumstance unless they were cheating. This isn't fair to people who have died. It isn't fair to the next generation. Our elections need to be full of integrity.
You just have to have elections that actually work, and what we're seeing is, as the president said, something like every state that continues to count and find ballots goes against the president. It just doesn't pass the smell test.
I think it's really good that this time we are able to discover the different ways that voter fraud can happen and raise awareness among this.
Why are you guys here today?
Because I've actually been personally affected. I originally from New York. I moved here to DC 10 years ago, and I actually wrote to deregister from the rolls. My mother kept getting literature on my behalf. I kept writing to them. When I registered my DC license here, they told me they were going to send my old license back to New York. I was asked for jury duty 3 years ago, and I informed them that I had moved and to remove me from the rolls. And what does my mom receive this year? Campaign literature and an actual ballot for me. If that's happening to me, how else? That could be happening all over America.
I was an election judge 12 times in Montgomery County. I've seen more voter fraud you could shake a stick at. No, and when you catch them, they don't fear the consequences. Their attitude is, it's my right.
I also received a ballot from somebody who doesn't live in my home. We're the first people to live in our apartment. Why does this person getting campaign literature in my house here in DC? It's happening to me, might be happening all over.
I've never seen an election where they stopped counting votes at night, and then when you show up, there's another 100,000 votes for Biden there, and statistical improbability that they're all for him and none for Trump.
I am really concerned about drop boxes because anyone can go and drop. If I took this ballot that we got, that's not my ballot, and dropped it into a box, this is an extra vote.
How much of a role do you think the media has played in everything that's going on?
More than Goebbels did for Hitler.
One big thing the media has been doing is just not reporting on incidents of voter fraud. And in their minds, if they don't report on it, it didn't happen.
We're watching a mainstream media, including Fox, I put them right in there with them, joining together to get us to a result that is based on something other than the truth.
How much of a role do you think the mainstream media has played in...
It's huge. They're complicit in all of this.
I would just think that the mainstream media has not raised enough awareness. Okay? So I think it's their responsibility to raise more awareness of the possibility of fraud so that everyone can be more alert.
In the old days, I think we had media that didn't tell us all the truths, right? They didn't. Now we have a media that tries to tell you what's a lie is true and persuade you of it with really sophisticated systems, and that's really should be scary. I don't think America is America in the same way if this election is allowed to be stolen by Biden.
Every legal vote needs to be counted, and that's the key. Legal vote. If it's happening to me, it's happening to others.
We need to make sure this vote is accurate, legal, only legal votes count. Exactly. Here, here.
We have Democrat officials throwing Republican watchers out of polling places. Every congressman should object. Every senator should object.
They need to take action. They need to bring awareness to this. They need to act. They need to get everybody involved as much as they can. They have authority, they have power, they have respect. They need to take action.
It's discouraging to know that you can look at the crowds and see all Trump supporters and then all at once. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
We are in America. All the eyes are on us. We need to stand up and make ourselves be visible.
Well, there you have it. These Trump supporters are fired up about just wanting a free and fair election. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube pages and follow us on Twitter. For MRC TV, I'm Katie Moon.